Every year, hundreds of thousands of inmates die by the hands of other inmates and dirty prison guards. There's a whole list of reasons why an inmate will lose his life in a penitentiary. Imagine getting a phone call in the middle of the night and it's the prison administration letting you know that your loved one has just passed away. Your loved one did not pass away due to natural causes. Your loved one was found in the prison shower with his neck cut from here to here. He did not leave this plane of existence on good terms. They say if a spirit has unfinished business or was wrongfully snatched out of this plane of existence, that they might want to get their get back. Let's get into some of these stories. This is the top 10 haunted penitentiaries in the USA. Eastern State Penitentiary, Philadephia. This facility was the first to be dubbed a penitentiary, which derived from the term penit. The Quakers who built it believed it would be a place where offenders could ponder their crimes. Inmates were confined in windowless rooms and not allowed to have any human contact. Suicide became a common thing under these conditions. Solitary confinement was ended in the 1870s and the prison closed a century later. Paranormal encounters have become more a commonplace within these walls, including apparitions, disembodied footsteps, and strange sounds coming from each cell. Alcatraz Penitentiary, San Francisco, California. Considered the most ultimate prison, The Rock was a place where the country's worst offenders was dumped. It incarcerated the likes of Al Capone, Doc Barker, George Machine Gun Kelly, and more during this operation. Since it was set in the middle of San Francisco Bay, most consider it unescapable. There is one successful escape attempt, but it is unclear if the inmate drowned in the bay or made it to shore. The prison closed 1 year after the escape, and the facility is now regarded as one of America's most haunted locations. Staff have reported ghosts, screams, and eerie music. Ohio State Reformatory, Milesville, Ohio. Most famous due to the film The Shawshank Redemption, the Ohio State Reformatory saw thousands of prisoners during its operation between 1896 and 1986. Originally believed to be a humane prison where offenders could be rehabilitated, it quickly devolved into a place known for torture, abuse, and murder. Inmates eventually filed a lawsuit describing that its inhabitable conditions. Visitors to the facility have reported apparitions, hearing footsteps, and experienced unsettling encounters inside the cells where inmates once lived. Ohio Penitentiary, Columbus, Ohio. This jail saw scores of deaths from fire, disease outbreaks, murder, and executions in the state electric chair during the run between 1834 and 1979. 322 inmates were killed in a single night in the 1930s when a fire swept through the west block of the penitentiary. Even when the prison was still in operation, inmates complained of ghostly sightings and eerie happenings. The building has since been torn down, and yet people still say they have seen apparitions from the ruins. The prison has since been replaced by a sports arena, which is also rumored to be haunted as well. Maxwell Street Police Station, Chicago, Illinois. This police station, built in 1889, quickly garnered a corrupt reputation due to crime organizations in the area. Many who were arrested never returned from the basement area of the station, which was believed to be used for torture. The station was repurposed in 1997 and used for security for the nearby University of Illinois Chicago campus. Currently, it's being used for filming the TV show Chicago PD, and visitors say they heard screams coming from the basement, along with moaning, crying, and the sound of rattling handcuffs. Penitentiary County Jail, Council Bluffs, Iowa. The structure of the old Penitentiary County Jail is unique. 3 tiers with 10 cells on each tier were intended to rotate continuously throughout the night by means of a water wheel located in the basement, thus allowing all prisoners to be continuously watched from one location. This setup earned the jail the nickname Squirrel Cage Jail, but much to the lamenting of the officials, the stone was too heavy to turn as intended. Another strike against the design when an inmate died in his cell, trapping the body for days. Doors were eventually carved into all the cells. There were a few other deaths in the prison, including that of an officer who accidentally shot himself while protecting the facility from an angry mob. Lake County Jail, Crown Point, Indiana. This facility was believed to be escape-proof upon construction, but the builders were proved wrong when John Dillinger broke out on March 3, 1934. The jail remained operational until the 1970s and has since undergone a restoration as a historical site. Apparitions have been spotted in cell doors and lights cutting on and cutting off, and also footsteps and voices have been heard by visitors and volunteers. West Virginia Penitentiary, Milesville, West Virginia. Most people don't want to go to jail, but ghost hunters are all but banging down the doors to get inside of this facility. Open almost 129 years ago, the Milesville facility housed thousands of inmates and saw scores of deaths through suicide and violence. This facility housed Old Sparky and the Hole, a brutal solitary confinement area that often drove inmates insane. Visitors claim to have heard ghostly footsteps, voices, and noises that have no explanation. They've also experienced cold chills and overwhelming feelings of panic, among other things. Wyoming Territorial Prison, Lamy, Wyoming. Built in 1873 after the expansion of the railroad brought a flood of unsavory characters to remain. The facility's main claim to fame is the incarceration of Butch Cassidy from 1894 to 1896. Since it has housed well over 1,000 inmates during its operation, it is no surprise that the ghostly activity has been reported. The most talked about is that of Julius Greenwald, who used to make and sell cigarettes while serving time for the murder of his wife. Visitors to the site report smelling cigars inside the facility, even though it's been closed since 1903. Missouri State Penitentiary, Jefferson City, Missouri. Opened from the early 1830s to 2004. The state penitentiary earned the nickname the bloodiest 47 acres in America due to its frequent violence inside the walls. 40 inmates was executed inside the gas chamber during this operation. Just from these two facts, it should come as no surprise that the staff and visitors have reported dozens of eerie encounters with lingering spirits. We have reached the conclusion of this program. Let me know in the comment section if you believe in the paranormal. Until next time, take care. If you want to continue to show your support for the Donta Show Network, make sure you bless the Cash App. It's pinned in the comment section and in the description. Thanks for watching.